Throughout history, human beings have depended on oceans for survival. It provides us with numerous forms of food, transportation, occupations. Today we are wasting this fundamental resource incredibly quickly. It's a serious problem, and who knows what's going to be the result of it.
Have you ever been sitting in class utterly bored out of your mind, wanting to learn about the world around you but unable to do so because it's just so dull? Well, luckily, with Crash Courables, we'll be able to inform you all about the world. This week's episode, Aquatic Biodiversity.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Crash Courables, Marine and Aquatic Biodiversity. Over the years, our oceans have helped provide us with numerous resources. This is all due to the incredible biodiversity it contains. Now you're probably asking yourself, what is biodiversity and why is it such a big deal that it's going away? Well, biodiversity is the term used to describe the variety of life found on Earth and all of the natural processes this includes.
Sustaining aquatic biodiversity.
One of the most important functions of marine ecosystems is the production of plant biomass from sunlight and nutrients, which represents the basic food source for all life in the ocean, and ultimately also for humans. Yet, we take advantage of this precious resource in many ways. Let's go to Zach for more details.
Ever since the dawn of time, humans have been using our oceans, lakes, streams, and rivers as a means for food, transportation, and jobs. They are crucial to the survival of our species, and yet they are one of the most abused resources that we have available. Humans are affecting the aquatic stability and biodiversity in a variety of ways that can easily be remembered by the acronym HIPCO.
HIPCO. H. Habitat destruction. I. Invasive species. P. Population growth. P. Pollution. C. Climate change. And O. Overfishing. HIPCO.
So those are the various ways we are affecting marine biodiversity. But how do we protect it? Let's go to our environmentalist friend Steve for a look into that.
How can we protect and sustain marine biodiversity?
Hi, I'm Steve Green, and I'm a hippie environmentalist. There are many laws and treaties, like the 1972 Marine Mammal Protection Act, that have protected some aquatic species, whales, sea turtles, and marine plants. Marine sanctuaries protect areas with high aquatic biodiversity, and marine fisheries are also good for biodiversity. So, why should we manage and sustain marine fisheries? Well, they reduce impacts of fishing and promote sustainably caught seafood. It's important that we start regulating fisheries so that fishing capacities and sustainable harvesting levels can be reached. It's very important for communities to back up these environmental efforts.
I'm really happy you brought up marine fisheries, Steve. Let's talk to Fish Finn, a leader in the marine fishery revolution.
How should we manage and sustain marine fisheries?
We are on a pathway to destruction. Through impractical fishing practices, we are depleting the fundamental resource of our oceans, aquatic biodiversity. And we're doing so faster than nature can replenish it. We need to start regulating fish harvest to ensure that we are not overfishing. One way to do this is through better government involvement. By using subsidies, controlling the market, and economic incentives, we can cut back on our impact. Take the Adriatic Sea, for example. Over the last 125,000 years, it's had a stable climate. But since humans have started causing environmental changes, this biodiversity hotspot is changing. Some scientists believe that the shifts humans are causing to the ecosystems could easily become permanent. I hope we can pull ourselves together before it's too late. Other issue with the way we're running our marine fisheries is that we're starting to use individual transfer rights. This is a system used by the government entities to manage production of certain goods or services related to aquatic success. The government assigns each party involved in the production of goods and services a quota. If one party does not fulfill this quota, it may sell or transfer the unused portion to another part. The problem with this is that it's cutting out the small fishermen, who usually aren't the ones that are having the big impact on the aquatic biodiversity. It's also putting in standards that are too high to prevent overfishing. Essentially, this is not working, and yet we continue to rely on it. We need a new plan.
How can we protect and sustain freshwater and wetlands?
Besides changing the way we run marine fisheries, we should also start to protect wetlands and prevent invasive species. Wetlands have lots of biodiversity, but of the US's wetlands have already been depleted. So how should we protect and sustain wetlands? Well, first off, we can develop a management system that promotes awareness, and tours are a good way to do that. Agriculture and development should be kept away from the wetland area, and buffer zones can be used to stop people from disturbing those areas. The Florida Everglades is a good example of wetlands that are in danger of disappearing. And another problem that we have is invasive species. Once invasive species spread, it can be costly to control them, and as a result, the best approach for dealing with these invasive species is to prevent their arrival in the first place. Another way we can deal with them is by monitoring new infestations and detecting and removing invaders quickly.
Priorities for sustaining biodiversity.
Overall, we need to work really hard if we want to keep around our oceans, lakes, rivers, and other marine resources available to us. We need to map out our biodiversity, keep old growth in check, preserve biodiversity hotspots, protect lakes and rivers, carry out ecological conservation, carry out ecological restoration, and find ways to make conservation financially rewarding.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Crash Courseable. Tune in next week when we discuss the probability of Bigfoot, the abominable snowman, and the Loch Ness Monster. Are they here on Earth or merely alien visitors?